Welcome to the Amazon's podcast. I'm Glenn Young, owner of Amazon's fitness magazine. Celebrate the female physique. Subscribe to AmazonsFitMag.com. The podcast is brought to you by GPS Photography and Video. Why photography and video? Because a photo's worth 1,000 words, video's worth 1,000,000. GPSPhotoandVideo.com. Let's get right to it. My guest, she is the Warrior Princess, IFBB Women's Physique Pro, Marika Jones. And now everybody knows Marika because the list is out. You're going to Phoenix this weekend. Let's
Going to
go.
Phoenix. Going to Phoenix. It was kind of like my birthday is the following week. I'll be 40.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I knew I was going to stay in shape because I wanted to look a certain type of way when I brought in 40. And
Of
so we
course.
just, we thought about it. My coach was like, how you feel? I was like, I feel like we can push to try to do this again and see what happens. So this is kind of like a little last push to kind of see what happens. And I was already staying in shape. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
it's not too far fetched at this point in time, but I've never been to Arizona. I've never done a Rising Phoenix.
Right.
So I'm just, this year really shown me like one, what I can do because I've done a lot of shows this year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also being able to travel to different places and try out different shows that I've never done before has been kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Shows that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going back, or oh yeah, I'm never going back to that show. Um, so it's kind of been eye opening to see how to maneuver through these different shows and everything.
Well, I mean, we had talked a little bit after we got off air last time you was on the podcast, and you were thinking about it, but it hadn't made up your mind fully. And you actually just signed the contract when last night.
Last night, I almost missed it. I was like, when is the deadline? And
That
I
would
just
have been
kind of
bad.
got, yeah, it would have been bad because I would have been like, oh no. But I was just like, just moving and just trying to get stuff prepared because once I leave and go to Arizona on Wednesday, and then I fly back home on Sunday, and then I'm turning back around and leaving out Monday to go to Oakland for a week for work. So
Mm.
it's like a lot of different moving pieces. I'm like, okay, got to pack for this, got to clean this, got to make sure my daughter's situated, got to make, so it's so many different moving pieces that
And
I'm
she's back
still.
in school.
She's back in school, but
Yeah,
she's driving. She can't drive to school, but while I'm gone, she'll have the car. She'll be able to move
right.
however she needs to move.
And you got a lot going on. Of course, you still got work as well. Celebrating your 40th birthday, and you're taking a special trip. Tell me about the trip you're going to take for your birthday.
It's not even a birthday trip. I'm going for
Really?
work. It is a work
Okay.
trip. Um,
Okay.
they invited the whole company out to Oakland, so it's going to be really interesting. So I'll still be working, but I am going
Right.
to enjoy some time with some of my direct reports that I've never met before. Like we are a remote company, so I have direct reports I've
Right.
never met before, but I've seen for the last 2 and 3 years. They're really excited to like get in front of me. Some of them are like, "Are we going to get to work out with you?" I said, "Are you
Mm-hmm.
sure about that?" They're like, "Yeah, I'm coming." So it's gonna be fun. Like I love my team, they love me, and they make my work enjoyable, even though it's kind of stressful a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited for that portion. I've never been to Oakland or San Francisco, so I'm going to be flying into San
So
Francisco,
you're
and
just going to
then
be staying on the West Coast for the next month or so.
pre- pretty much, But then I will come back home, and then we will celebrate my birthday, and it just depends on what happens on Saturday, what that celebration looks like.
Right.
As of right now, it's supposed to be a dinner. Um, so whatever happens on the 13th, it'll kind of, determine what my next week while I'm out of town looks like. And, and what I'll just buy groceries and cook in a hotel room. Like it is what it is. You just got to do what you got to do.
The list, as I said, is out. Tracy Gall, a lot of familiar names, 26 competitors in women's physique. I got to give a shout out to women's physique this whole season. You guys have shown up. And so I got to give you credit where credit is due. Y'all been doing the damn thing all year in double digit figures, 25, 26 competitors showing up at each show. So um, that's great. Your division is in great shape. And when you look at the show, you signed the contract last night. I'm sure you haven't peeked at the list. You know what the expectations are, and you know what the competition is. But
Mhm.
what do you feel about going into Arizona this weekend?
Um, Quite honestly, I am have been so calm about this, not because I feel like I go into every show wanting to win, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in my mind. I haven't put that stress on me. Um, to win, all I can do is just keep showing up a tad bit better or at the same level that I've been showing up as, and I'm okay with that. I don't have any expectations of the show. I just want to go and have fun and present a good physique. Obviously, I want to win, but that's really not in my control. And that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of something I've learned this whole season that no matter how good I think I look, at the end of the day, it's not my decision. Like, all I can do is present.
Right.
I can present a feminine physique, and that's really important to me to really be feminine, colorful, just what I think female bodybuilding embodies is to really
Mm-hmm.
look feminine and girly and beautiful. That's just my thought. Everybody has their own different perspective and how they look at the
Right.
category and look at it as I that's just what I think of. So I don't have any expectations. I haven't looked at the list. I mean, it really at this point in time and at this stage in the game and at this level of competition, it doesn't matter who show up. Like you still have to
Right.
stand on stage next to that person on the
Right.
side of you. It doesn't matter what you look like in your gym photos, by yourself. When you on
Mm-hmm.
stage with somebody, like so I just can't worry about really who's showing up. All I can do is show up as my best self and that's where I am with it.
Right. Well, then that moves me on to the next question, which is you win the Rising Phoenix, 21 days to the Olympia on 9 October. You've done this will be your what? Your fifth show?
Fifth or sixth, I think. Wait a minute. I stopped counting after a while, but I did what I started out with. I did Shreveport, Omaha,
Mm-hmm.
Chicago,
Texas.
Texas, and no, this will be my sixth show in
Yeah.
Mississippi because I did. I always forget the two in 24
Yeah, the
hours.
two Yeah,
It's
yeah, the
wild.
2 and 24 hours. So your sixth show, are you gonna have enough gas in the tank? What has your coach
I mean,
said? How do you feel? How really does your body feel at this point? Are you running out of
um,
gas?
I feel like maybe like 2 weeks ago I felt it. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is hard, but if you get that Olympia qualification, another level in you kicks up, and another level of adrenaline kicks up.
Yes.
Then it's just
Yes.
going to be about really recovery is going to be in those next few days because what 21 more days or by the
Right.
time we get through this weekend what's another 3 or 2 weeks like
Right.
that's by the time you look up it's going to be time to go and you're in it. So I thought about that because I was like, I cannot show up worse at the Olympia than I've shown up all year.
Mm-hmm.
That would be in the back of my mind, and I would just be pushing myself. I just make sure I don't push myself too much because I'm such a perfectionist, and in my mind, I'm thinking, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, because your mind is going to do whatever you tell it to do. But also, just making sure that I am healthy, making
Yeah.
sure that I'm recovering, I'm stretching, and I'm doing all like hitting all the points, sleep,
Right.
everything. Like all that
Right.
has to be hit. So I mean, we'll just see what happens. I'm just gonna whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. That's it.
Yeah. Judges' feedback. Have any of the judges, and of course we've talked about it before, have they said, you know what, Marika, you need to move up to women's bodybuilding?
Nope.
Never entertain a conversation. Have you ever thought about it?
I have thought about it,
Mhm.
but just
And we
right
talked about it
now,
before, but I'm like,
right now, I
women's
personally
bodybuilding is in trouble, and the body's got to come from somewhere. I mean, shout
right,
out to Fabiana Ajos and Nina Amperful,
yeah.
aka Nina Beans, who both became women's bodybuilding pros this year. But then you
It
look
was
at the
really
number of
so
women's
hard for
bodybuilders
Nina.
retired. Yeah,
me and Nina had a conversation in Texas. I saw her in Texas. I was like, and I
Uh
saw her in Atlanta previous. I was like, you got this, sis. Like, come on, it's your time. Like, just believe in it. Don't let outside noises get into you because that's
huh.
the main thing. And I know a lot of people are weird. I'll say this: when I'm getting closer to a show, I will mute everything on
Right.
social media because it's just for me, it's a distraction. So I don't see anything, and sometimes I forget to unmute it. And it has nothing to do with anybody else. It's just what I need to do to zone into myself. And I told Nina, I
Right.
said, hey, block all of that out. Block everything out and just
Mhm.
focus on what you can control. And so I was really like I was watching all weekend. I was like, okay, she on? What's happening? Did she do good? What's
Yeah.
going on? So I was really proud of her. As
North
far as
American, she did it. So yeah, well deserved. She looked amazing. You saw my post when I look at Andrea Shaw, obviously Ashley Jones,
yes.
and then her physique, and then Salika Gavon. I'm
Oh,
like,
I
yeah,
can't wait to
those
see
four
Selena. I'm
ladies. I
so
mean,
proud of sis too. Me and
they,
Selena competed against each other
yeah,
in 2021. The very first time I ever did women's bodybuilding was at the 2021
hmm
Nationals. It was between me and Chelsea, took it.
right,
But that's where I met Salika, and she has been sis ever since, and has always rooted for me, and I'm rooting for her. So as soon as I saw her look at the triple O,
yeah,
I was like, "Oh, you
yeah,
got this!" Like, it's no, you got this, and there's nothing against anybody else, but when
hmm
you come across competitors that even some people that you've never met, but you're on social media and they are so supportive, and then you meet them in real life, like it's just a
hmm
different level of like
yeah,
showmanship and sportsmanship within this category. So I'm like I said, I'm excited. I really don't think that I'm female bodybuilding, and I say
hmm
that only I know why people are saying that because I'm super dense. I have really
yeah.
dense muscle, and
You're back.
really dense. But I've had this back forever. Like when you
Yeah.
grow up cheerleading I was a base, so for
Mhm.
5 years in college, competitive cheerleading and squat pressing people over my head, I ain't gonna have
Right,
nothing but
right,
traps, in the back.
right.
But my back is the main thing, but what stops me or stifles me is the way my muscles sit on my legs. So
hmm
it would take some uncomfortable growing that I don't know if mentally I'm prepared for that type of growth.
Right.
If I took a full year off and just grew, it'd be a totally different thing. But
hmm
outside of my thought process, because if this meant saving a category, you know, I wouldn't be opposed to jumping in and seeing what that looks like. Since I did get
hmm
my pro card in women's and female bodybuilding,
Right.
you know, but as of right now, I'm gonna focus on WPD, and we'll see what that looks like. My plan for the off season is to really focus on my quad sweeps and to grow my legs to match my back, but my back is I'm just dense. Like I have
Right.
very dense legs as well, so it's a lot. And then hammering that down is not fun. So
hmm
thought process in it, but I'm not opposed to it. Just right now, WPD is
And I understand, but like the body's got to come from somewhere. So they either
yeah.
come from women's uh,
It's quite a few people
physique.
that
They
probably
can't
could
come out.
step
Yeah,
into the
yeah,
female
exactly.
bodybuilder right now and do very well.
I was
I
gonna
mean,
bring it up. Yeah,
it's a few people that could
yeah,
definitely do it and could have probably qualified this year.
probably could have, but
Bodies that they have,
NPC is not growing them fast enough, and you only got two women bodybuilder pros out the NPC. They got to come from somewhere because women's bodybuilding is in trouble. I said it before, and I'll say it again.
well, I'll
From
say
the
this:
number of shows.
if the
Mhm.
feedback is always from what I can see, the feedback is always you got to get bigger, you got to get bigger, and so sometimes that bigger it's it's not necessarily fitting the category that you're in. Like once you
Right.
take it too far, it's
hmm
hard to reel it back in, and
Yeah.
so that's why the feedback can't always be get bigger or bigger legs or
Right.
bigger this.
hmm
It has to be symmetry or balance or something at some point in time. You know.
hmm And by definition, do you fit the category of women's physique? And I think we do the shows all year long, and then we get to the Olympia, and everybody sees the results, and it's like, wow, okay, you didn't do as well in women's physique because you're probably a women's bodybuilder. You just haven't
Yeah.
came to that conclusion yet, and
I mean,
that's all for the judges and stuff. Speculation on my part, but I mean, it is what it is.
yeah, I agree. And I also feel like there were so many different body types that was chosen. Like in my
Yeah,
mind, again, if Sarah is the standard, when she has the shape, she has
yeah,
the
Vegas, yeah,
condition, then that's the standard. You
mm-hmm.
know what I mean? As of right now, she's the standard. So
Right,
everybody is getting bigger and bigger. But even Natalia is quite sizable.
yeah,
Um, but those two, or one and two, they are the standard. So
right.
then, you know, so we'll see. I'm
And
interested to
everybody
see
else
what's
is
going to
trying to
happen.
put their physique off of theirs because they're 1 and 2 in the world, both Miss Olympias. You know, with Natalia being former Miss Olympia now, chasing Sarah again. I mean, it is
Mm-hmm.
what it is. So we have to see how that shakes out. But women's bodybuilding, 4 beautiful women, 4 beautiful physiques, and Andrea Shaw, Ashley Jones, Salika Gavan, and Nina Amperful. So I'm anxious to see how they grow over these next couple of years because this is going to be an exciting Olympia. I mean,
And I'll
it is
say
what
this,
it
like,
is, but
those
you're
all
going to
of
see
them
some
look
stuff.
great.
Yeah,
All of them look great.
yeah, you do.
Angela
You do.
looks Angela looks it was
Yeah,
crazy backstage at the Olympia to see her in person. I was
yep.
like, woo, woo.
You know,
But
and
they
that's
all
not
look
there's no
great.
slight on Angela Yo or any of them because I mean when you look at them top five last year going into this year, will the top five be the same?
I don't know.
We'll see.
Listen, all
You
I
know.
know is, obviously Andrea, boom.
Yes.
Obviously Ashley. And
Yep.
I didn't see them pumping up, but where we were backstage, because we had just came off, Angela was right there, and I was
Yep.
everybody's jaw was like on the ground. I was
Yeah.
like,
And hey, and they're the champs. They're the
looks
top three
crazy
until
good.
they're unseated. You know,
Right.
going into this, I mean, some people would say it's a 3 horse race. I don't know. We'll see. Some people would say
I'm
that
interested to
women's
see
physique is a
WBB.
2 horse race. You know, so it's going to be
I don't
exciting. And
know.
of
I
course, I'm
think it's
excited about fitness and figure, because there'll be a new champion in both of those categories as well. So it's going to be
yeah.
exciting Olympia. Excited about it. And going into next year, there's going to have to be a lot of discussions when it comes to women's bodybuilding, um, women's physique. And as you saw, the latest and greatest is the point system is back because there are too many wellness, too many bikini. The Olympia is too long. The men's categories as well, and yeah, makes sense. Doesn't do anything for women's bodybuilding because it doesn't do anything for women's physique per se. Figure and fitness, but when you talk about wellness and bikini, that's going to get narrowed down. Whether it's a top 25, and then what would you consider a top tier show? I mean, they mentioned
Right.
obviously the Arnolds, Pittsburgh. So then you have to go down the gauntlet. New York, Chicago.
Yeah.
Now, what's going to determine that and where you get points? Because you don't want to get into a show where even if you got second, you're not going to get any points. And you definitely won't want to get in a show where, you know what? Hey, this is not an Olympia qualifying show.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So I'm anxious to see how it's going to work. But it affects women's bikini and women's wellness. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on it? You saw it.
I wonder if the prize money is going to go up for those shows that are not an Olympia qualifying event, because how do you get people to come out to those shows and
Good
compete?
point.
Because at the end of the day, the females, we spend 10 times more money than the guys do
Mm-hmm.
to do a show. And that's no
Mm-hmm.
slight to the guys, but we're looking at hair, makeup, suits are expensive, shoes.
Right.
If you have to wear shoes, 10. It's a lot of, plus travel, hotel, unless you have sponsors. It's a lot of moving pieces for women to just show up for a show if you are
Right.
that close to the Olympia qualification to qualify for the Olympia. So I'm interested to see what the actual promoters will do to make their show a
Mm-hmm.
top level show or top tier
Yes.
show. Or
Yes.
does that mean that they're going to offer more money? Or are they going to make us start paying in to the pot to give
Right.
us more to compete? I feel like that's where it's something's going to happen along those lines, but I'm not
Right.
quite sure what that looks like. But as far as women's physique, it kind of it. it kind of sucks because we don't have a lot of shows. So
Hmm.
if we had points, it would be a little bit more competitive. But I mean,
Right.
I mean, you have some Olympians that are already qualified that are doing some of the shows. So then that
Hmm.
takes the people out of the equation. But I would have
Hmm.
loved for them to have points for the top three
Right.
WPD shows. I think it's great that they're giving the top three at the Rising Phoenix, but if
Hmm.
and Rising Phoenix used to be invite only, but I'm assuming that's not the case this
Right.
year. So if you got Andrea and Ashley, I don't even know I haven't looked at the list, but whoever is doing it, if you
Hmm.
got Miss Olympia, you already know that one of
Hmm.
those is
Well,
gone.
Andrea is doing it. Ashley and Angela Yo are not doing it. Natalia Kovaleva, Michelle Brent, Monica Vega. And I think there were two more. Bottom line, there's only five that are doing women's bodybuilding at the Rising Phoenix. Not the
Well,
same show, not 50,000. There's no car. It's just a show, but still a lot of prestige because it's still one of the biggest women's shows that there are, women's only
man, I
shows.
should have
So
hopped in that one and see what I can do in that one. I'm
there
just
you go.
joking.
Hey, hey,
Just to see, just
just
to
to
see
see.
what would
Uh,
happen. I wouldn't listen. I am way too small. Like I would
yeah.
definitely have to crawl a little
Well, so
bit.
much leans on what the judges say, and you got to
Right.
go with your women's physique. But and it's not for me to say or speculate, but you see what you see, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that the judges are going to have some conversations with a lot of the girls in women's physique. I won't say a lot, but I mean some of them. Obviously, they're like, hey, look great, but you're growing out of your division.
I
Um,
don't know. I feel like some of
I
those
don't know.
conversations should have already been had. I
Yeah,
feel like,
well,
in my opinion, like even if that was the feedback for me, like,
mhm,
you're a little too big, either size down or size up, right?
right, right,
Why give qualifications and top spots to people who don't fit the category? Like if
right.
you're trying to get away from the category being too big or crossing that boundary, why
Hmm.
not give real feedback? Say you're too big instead of having the conversations online and people speculating. Have real conversations and say,
Yeah,
"Hey, you're too big for this
right.
particular category. You have grown out of your category. I please move on up." If there
Yeah,
was real conversations, maybe
yeah,
there would be more female bodybuilders at some of these shows because
right.
then there would be real feedback that you're massive. And
Right.
even if that went for me, then I would have to take that real feedback because I would keep getting bad placings. You get what I
Hmm.
mean? Um, but when that
Yes.
standard is set, then it's kind of like you're ping ponging all over the place with what this looks like. And it's very I think that's sad that it's only five at
Yeah.
the Rice mix.
And only three in Atlanta. And I mean, I don't know if they reached double digits all year. I think seven was the highest number. That was at the Triple O, and I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
And I really want to see the division prosper and grow. And so that's
yeah,
why I like, well, dang it, where is it going to come from? If it doesn't come from
yeah,
women's physique, it's too slow for NPC. Is women's bodybuilding going to die? But that's something to shelve for. See what happens in the next year. And like I said, it needs to be some kind of conference or so they look. It is what it is because promoters are not going to promote them. They're not going to have them in their shows based on this year. I think took
yeah,
a step back and they're going to look at that and like, hey, you know what? They're not showing up. Why am I putting this money up? And then likewise, the number of women bodybuilders, where you at? Are you retiring? Some may have. Are we looking at a thing where because you got a pro card, you haven't competed, that you're going to lose your pro card? I don't know what the right answer is. All I know is it's obvious that it's in trouble. And
yeah,
we'll just have to see. I mean, you could very well say that Rising Phoenix, they got the Shaws. You know what the Shaws are, right? That's the disease of being intimidated, scared of Andrea Shaw. You can't beat her, so I ain't gonna show up. Well, that's enough of that. And so
I mean,
you
but
got
at the end of the day, you gotta show. I mean, you have to see what you look like towards next to the best. Period.
yeah,
It doesn't,
yeah,
it doesn't matter if she's there or not. If
right.
you in the show, then you still got to go up against her at the Olympia. It doesn't.
In
It
in
doesn't.
three
I don't
weeks.
understand that
Yeah,
logic, but I
But then
hear you.
I see, Angela, uh, Yo, and Ashley Jones, you know, is no longer 50,000. The Olympia's in 3 weeks. No use for me to do it. I get that, but everyone outside the top three, it is what it is.
Should have
Because
tried my
you're right.
luck.
If you can't
Tried my luck.
if you can't beat her now, when you gonna beat her? You know,
Right. Yeah, I
uh,
should have tried my luck, but then even if I got an O qualification, it would
yeah,
not be any reason for me to show up to
yeah.
the O, being as small as I am.
And you could say that there's a gap between the top three women's bodybuilders and the rest of them. Could be. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think 14, 15 qualified. About as all time is said and done. Same thing in women's physique. Are Natalia Coelho and Sarah Villegas so far out there that hey, nobody, third place is not even close. And
Hmm.
and top three, Sharonica Hinton. Everybody comparison physique is what women's physique look like, but then that's not what you see this winning. So uh, we're gonna see the real lowest lane. All of them, they look amazing, all of them, and so we're gonna see how it shakes out. It's in the judge's hand now.
Yeah,
That's
it's gonna
it's
be.
in the
I think
judge's hand, and we'll see across
I feel
all
like
seven women's or
WPD.
six women's division.
I feel like WPD is gonna be super competitive this year. I mean, in my opinion, it was competitive last year, but I
Oh
just
yeah,
think that.
Zama Benton. Like I
Well,
say,
I think
Sharonica
it's gonna
hitting
be.
the real lowest lane, the Natalia Coelho.
Yeah,
I mean,
hopefully me. No,
Sarah
hopefully me.
Villegas. Hey, why not Marika Jones? Why not
Why
Tracy
not? I
Gow?
mean, why
Who?
not?
You know, I. There's some dogs in Williams physique. There's some
Yeah,
dogs. Yo guys, like I said, y'all showed up the whole year. 20 plus at each show. I think y'all in good shape. Same with figure, right?
yeah,
Like to see more fitness shows, but not everybody can do fitness because or all the athleticism,
yeah.
the tumbling and what have you. Uh, Excited
Back in the
for
day,
Michelle
I was gonna
Mensa.
try it too.
Yeah, and I'm excited for Michelle Mensa to see how she's
Yeah,
going to do. She
yeah.
won her qualification in Atlanta and
Hmm.
defended her title. So I mean, I love all seven divisions now. Next year, you'll see Fit Model in the Olympia. And now that they've taken the steps to say, hey, top 25 and top tier shows and point systems, um, you may see competitors not do as many shows, but if the money is up there, they're going to do the show. If Wolfpack
I
keep
feel
throwing
like.
out money, doesn't matter. Weldon's going to show up.
Well, I also feel like Fit Model probably needs to have a point system too. I feel like them categories at the NPC level, it's a lot of girls in them Fit Model
Oh
categories.
yeah,
But I don't know how many won pro qualifiers, so that might be the difference of how many are actually
yeah,
pros going into next year.
right,
But they can turn pro and then go to a and then go to a pro show and win. You just never know.
yeah,
So it's this year is gonna be interesting to see. I
mhm,
was excited for WPD. Like I think
yeah,
almost every show I've done was in double digits.
hmm,
Texas, it was what
yeah,
was it? 20, it was like 24 girls. I think Chicago had 20 plus girls, I believe, or 19. I
hmm.
think
I saw
it's,
one show of 19. I have to go back and check the numbers, but bottom line, y'all had good numbers this year. You had good
yeah,
numbers. And
yeah,
then when you ask, should women's physique have more shows? Should figure have more shows? I think y'all right there. One or two more certainly wouldn't hurt. But
yeah.
by comparison to women's bodybuilding, I just think now, sadly, that people are thinking, and people, when I say promoters, the powers that beat it, that you guys are turning into a bad investment. And I hope that's not the case. But
I
it is
mean, three
it
people
is
at the
what
New
we
York
see.
Pro, three
Yeah.
at the New York Pro was kind of wild. But
Yep.
here, I'm not here
3
to
in
judge.
Atlanta Pro. Yeah.
People don't compete for whatever reasons they don't compete. But I
Right.
think big level shows should definitely show up as well as like Wings of Strength. They're trying to keep women's female bodybuilding over the
Yes.
ring. You don't know nobody knows who's gonna show up at these shows, and I think
No.
that's intimidating to a lot of people, but at a pro level, you just got to show up and see where you stack up.
Mm-hmm.
Because how do you get better? You know.
Right. And hey, just have to see. Table that. I don't want that to diminish what we're about to see here in 3 weeks at the Olympia. I
Yep.
certainly don't want to diminish about what we're going to see here in about 4 or 5 days here in
Yeah.
Arizona. Excited for you. So glad you came on to announce it. Even though the list that came out, but and then I was like, well, maybe she's not going to do it. But I mean, when you look at it now, the season that you had, you know, people are going to say, why is she still doing it? I think you've inspired a lot of competitors, no doubt. Uh, I'm always, fans want to see competitors compete, but I'm always conscious of your health and whatnot. And so, hey, as long as you feel good, keep doing it because I think you're an inspiration for a lot. And hey, go get it. Let's see how this shakes out in Arizona.
Yeah, we're gonna see. And I thought about that. I know people are like, "Why?" But I knew that I was gonna stay in a certain amount of shape
Right.
because of the aesthetic that I wanted to look like. And my coach, we are very health conscious about anything going on within my body, what I'm doing, any of those different types of things. So that was never an issue. It was just like the force of I don't know. As soon as 40 came around the corner, my knee was like, "Oh, okay. Hey,
Are
welcome
you
to
going
40."
through a midlife crisis that you like
Really,
of
like my
doing all the
back was
shows?
like, "You sure you want to keep doing all this running? Are you
Mhm.
positive?" And then I was like, "Hey, you gotta stop. Like, get yourself together. Let's go." So, like I said, I'm just excited. I don't have any expectations. I just want to go, show up. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's gonna shake out however it's gonna shake out, and I'm interested to see the Olympia. I'm excited to see the Olympia. I'm excited to see I'm excited to see all of it, but
Right.
I would love to be there again. Like it was such an amazing experience. I would really, and I've been so close so many times
Yeah.
this year. So I would love to see what I can do. But
And it's definitely going to keep growing, keep getting bigger, and
mhm.
all the shows behind it, transitioning into the Arnolds. Got my eye on that Vegas show that's in November. Uh,
Yeah,
Also, right after the Olympia,
right.
especially with women's bodybuilding, there should be a lot of women's bodybuilders showing up at that show because now it's a qualification off the bat for the 2026 season. So,
Yeah. I wish they had WPD at that show. I probably would have popped up just to
yeah,
see. But
I mean, if you at the end of the day, the perfect scenario would be to have all 7 divisions at every show. But hey,
yeah,
it is what it is,
right.
and include the men's divisions. And at the end of the day, return on investment, it's got to make dollars and cents. And so
Yep.
we'll see how it all shakes out next year. Last word, what do you have to say as far as inspiration to anyone or anybody you want to give a shout out to? Or is there anybody you want to call out? The floor
You
is
know,
yours.
I would love to shout out first and foremost my coach. He's crazy. If you see him online, he's crazy, but
Mm-hmm.
he's also been such a good partner. Like, and that's where a lot of people fail in choosing a coach is a partner who listens to you and listens to any concerns. They talk to you, they work with you. They don't just bark down orders on what you're supposed to do with your
Mm-hmm.
body. So I'm super grateful to have Kevin Johnson in my corner. He's a pro competitor as well. And so he knows exactly what it takes. And I'm just thankful for him. I'm thankful for him coming into my life. When he came into my life after having, I'm going to say it, it's going to hurt somebody's feelings, a horrible coach. Um, it was a horrible experience, and it was like night
Mm-hmm.
and day. We set goals and we've hit those goals. We're still fasting for this last goal here, but I want to shout him out. I want to shout out a few of my sponsors, my suit sponsor, Sparkle Bitch Suits. She is amazing. She has surprised me with several suits, not me even knowing. She knows what works with my body, my skin, and she has just been an amazing partner as well. And she doesn't get enough praise for the work that she does with these suits. Rule one, keeps me healthy through my prep. Tamika Collection, she does my wigs and my
Mm-hmm.
hair. I'm super, excited to have worked with her this year. Octane Energy, always keeping me motivated, always keeping me going. I'm not sponsored by Body Bling, but anybody who knows Body Bling
Mm-hmm.
is the person to go to for your accessories. Like she matches them every time. And this is a little shout out. This is a silly shout out, but I would love to shout out. Hey, sweetie. Hey, sweetie has a cookie brownie cinnamon roll company, and she has been amazing throughout. Like went to Indie Pro and
Mm-hmm.
she was there, and we bought a bunch of stuff from her, and I had been buying stuff. Just amazing, amazing customer service, amazing follow up, just an all around amazing cookie company. If you guys haven't tried her, and I believe she might not want to say, but I think she's competing this weekend in a show. I think at an MPC level,
Mm-hmm.
but very dope, very great person. Not calling
Yeah.
anybody out. Let's just go have some fun this weekend. I mean, it's either my last show or the pre to Olympia.
There you
Either
go.
way,
Or a
it's gonna
tune
be
up for
before
those.
my right. Either it's gonna be before my 40th birthday, and I'm just grateful to
Mhm.
be ready to turn 40. So
Good stuff. She is the Fit Warrior Princess, but after this season, I think we're gonna rename you to the Iron Maiden
yeah,
because you've been getting after it. All the best in Arizona. Always glad when you come on Amazon's podcast. And hey, get at me because we gotta get you in this
I
magazine.
know. I gotta get to North Carolina. I promise you. Let me get through all of this, and we're gonna figure something out. I
Oh yeah.
promise.
Hey, open invite does not expire.
All right, I'm gonna take you up on it. I promise.
Okay. Talk soon. All the best in Arizona.
Bye.
There's you have it, the Fit Warrior Princess. Like I said, we're gonna probably rename her the Iron Maiden. Um, doing the damn thing. This will be her sixth show. Signed her contract last night, so wish her all the best in Arizona as well as all the competitors. And we'll see how it shakes out from women's bodybuilding and all the rest of it was an all women's show, which I don't think it's lost that much prestige. I mean, it lost maybe prize money, no longer a vehicle, but it is what it is because at the end of the day, the Rising Phoenix is promoting women's bodybuilding at the highest level and go support that. Get the live stream because obviously everybody can't make it out to Arizona, and the same with the Olympia coming up here on October 9th. Uh, Shout out to my art director who's always working on the magazine, coming up with new ideas. And we wanted to get a July issue out, and then after a lot of logistics, competitors that we were hoping to shoot was going to hope to be on the cover, didn't work out. Logistics and different things going on with different shows, the Masters, Olympia, and so at the end of the day, we do have a more than worthy cover, and I'm going to announce the cover later on this week. So make sure you tune in. I'll come up and do a live as we'll have our summer issue followed by our September/fall issue, and then of course close out the winter with that November issue there, and then we'll start all over again next year in January. Uh, Celebrate the women's physique. Subscribe to Amazon'sFitMag.com. Thanks to all the new subscribers on all the social media platforms, on the website with Amazon'sFitMag.com, especially because that's how we pay the bills. Those that have purchased the print version of the magazine, appreciate you. Love you for all that. And we're going to keep this grinding. A lot of announcements coming up about what we're going to be doing next year, and a lot of guests as we grind down to Olympia because now we're at the biggest show of the year. And let's see how this all shakes out. I'm excited about what we've seen in all the divisions, despite the low numbers in women's bodybuilding. It is the whole uh, base of Amazon's Fitness magazine because ideally we want to have women's bodybuilder on the cover. And when you read the mission statement, that's what it's about. But all divisions are Amazon's, all seven of them now. And so ideally we would have a women's bodybuilder on the cover and then a centerfold layout of all the other divisions. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And it is what it is. But Amazon's Fitness magazine is here to stay and going strong. So That being said, appreciate all the support and love. More podcasts coming up. Tune in later this week. We'll announce the summer issue and the cover of the summer issue of Amazon's Fitness Magazine. Till then, celebrate the female physique. As always, subscribe to AmazonsFitMag.com. We'll see you.